properly shuffle. That's hard.
Right?
Properly shuffling is really difficult, guys.
It really is. It's a skill. You have to learn.
Because I
Go to my workshop. I'll teach you.
I should, because I watch countless videos. I'm like, I can't do it, and I just look like a fool trying to do it.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine, but yeah. So that's the different kinds of stuff I've been experiencing in the last few workshops. What else have I learned? I've learned that there are a lot of dancers who did not know they were dancers until they came to a dance class.
Interesting.
A lot of people, maybe, I think it's the fact that they can't find a studio where there's, you know, an English-speaking teacher, where the classes are taught in English and they can understand what's going on. If you're a beginning dancer and have never walked into a dance class, I don't think you're really gonna go anywhere in Korea. So hearing about, you know, Surge, they came, and I obviously am teaching in English, and they really, a lot of my students have kept with it. They're like, this makes me want to take dance classes.
Good.
And they've continued dancing and continued coming back to my workshops. And sometimes I don't believe that they've never danced before. I'm like, you're a dancer. You're totally a dancer. And I'm so glad that you have come and, you know, opened up your world to this new kind of, you know, hobby, I guess.
Yeah, it's more than a hobby, because I mean, you're walking away with, of course, obviously, you're exercising, and it's a way of expression, and it's everything good. I like a package.
A lot of people will say that it's, oh, you're always exercising, you dance every day. I'm like, I don't really think of it that way. I guess growing up dancing my whole life, it's
second nature to you.
Yeah. I don't think of it as like, oh, I exercised today. So, yeah, hearing you say like it's exercise and it's expression and it's like a release and it's a place where you make new friends and you bond with people in a different way. Yes, it's all of that and more.
You know, it's funny because these like dance classes, when you take it as a hobby too, you can bond with a lot of people. But the competitive world of dancing is a little bit different. You make friends in the company, but they become your direct competition as well.
Totally. Oh yeah, totally.
So I have to ask, did you make any friends on Dancing 9, or was that hard to do?
Oh my gosh, so many.
Good.
Everybody. I mean, I actually really miss them, and I hope that they're doing really well, you know, on the show and everything. I've just really, you know, taken away from this experience a whole lot of appreciation for that collaborative effort that we were talking about before, especially the fact that I was the last standing foreigner, and they still, you know, let me in, and they still welcomed me and worked with me and dealt with my lack of Korean language knowledge. And yeah, I thanked them all immensely after all was said and done with my time on the show, because before that show, I didn't have that many Korean friends. A lot of them just, I don't know, we just stopped talking, and now I have so many Korean friends again.
Good, that you have this common ground with, the common passion with.
Yeah.
That must be great.
So, you know, we all have our group chats, and we're gonna keep in touch after the show is all over, and continue dancing together with all of us having different styles and going to different studios. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm going to go to your studio, and then I'm going to take ballroom dancing at your studio, and then I'm going to go over to your studio and do some whacking dancing. Like, I'm just going to try it all.
What's whacking dancing?
Oh my gosh. I wish I had there's whacking dance classes at one of the studios I teach at. I wish I would have taken one of the classes before going on Dancing 9.
Really?
Because, I mean, it's a lot of like,
what is this?
Like, you're just like fabulous, and they look fabulous. Whacking dancers just like divas, and
is it a little bit of a girls' hip hop? Can I picture that? It's more than that.
It's more than that. It's more specific than that. It's a lot of specific arm motions. What I'm doing right now.
All right, guys, that's wacky. That's wacky.
But yeah, one of the girls on the show, she was always teaching me how to do whacking, and this is it. And that's, you know, that's the very, very basic of it. And it's more sharp and more stylistic. Once you get the hang of it, they're all just amazing. It's like it's basically improvisation all the time. It's
really
cool.
So there's no really set choreography to it.
They can set choreography, but I mean, when they're just dancing, improvisation, freestyle, that's what they do. That's what they do in classes too.
Okay.
So I got to get my whacking game up for sure.
If you guys are curious what this looks like, obviously you can look it up or sign up for one of Cindy's classes.
Yeah.
And you will find out for yourself. And actually, a lot of our viewers tune in to learn English or better their English speaking skills. I feel like one fun way to do it is if you sign up for Cindy's classes.
Totally.
She teaches everything in English. She's not going to speak to you in Korean, so that might be an outlet.
English and dance together, yeah. That's totally one of the things that I emphasized my first workshop. I was like, it's going to be dance and English, and maybe I'll speak like this much Korean, because sometimes I do, you know, like and 시작, and you know. So yeah, it's like a bunch of Konglish thrown in there, and especially in a few of the places that I teach at.
Okay.
But yeah, sign up.
Sign up, guys. All right, we're a little bit short for time, so we're going to move on to our last corner. This is entitled My Top 3. This is where we discuss our guests' 3 most treasured words. So here we go. This is our look at Cindy's top 3 words that are most important to her when it comes to her work and perhaps work ethic. Let's first look at the word that she has chosen for us. It is gutsy. I have to say it like that. Yes. Gutsy.
Very gutsy.
Showing courage, determination, spirit, some might even say bold.
Yeah, I guess this was when you asked, you know, work-related or something related to what I'm doing now. A lot of times people say to me, that was really bold or really gutsy for you to just follow what you want to do, follow your dreams, you know, build a workshop in Korea from the ground up. Yeah. Leave a pretty cushy job for one that is not so cushy, but like makes me happy, you know? A lot of times, you know, just talking about what I'm doing now, everyone's like, that is so gutsy.
It really is. And you can't undermine the fact that you're still working in Korea as a foreigner. You don't speak too much Korean, and that's hard. Yeah. It takes a lot of guts to do that in the first place. Yeah. To be a dancer takes a lot of guts. To combine that, oh man. I think this word actually describes you really well.
Thanks. Thank you.
And I think your next word actually is very much linked with your first word. The reason why you can be gutsy is because here's her second word. You're very passionate.
Yes.
I don't think there are any professional dancers out there or choreographers out there that aren't passionate about their jobs.
Totally. Being, you know, in this new environment, this new, like this dance world that I'm kind of discovering in Korea, has brought me back to what I've always loved doing. It has gotten me, you know, my head is back in the game, kind of. I danced through college. I came to Korea, and for 6 months, I wasn't dancing. I couldn't find a studio or a teacher that I really enjoyed. And so I got away from what makes me happy, and I noticed. I started, you know, my joints were getting like not flexible, and I mean, I'm not flexible to begin with, but like, you know, I just started feeling like what am I missing? What am I missing? And then I went into dance class. Yang Shi-jung, thank you. Like, you brought me back to what I love doing. And it's hard for me, I realized, while I was working in media, to separate this is what I do for money, and this is what I do for fun. This is what I love. I really need to combine them. And I think that to some extent everybody should, you know, combine doing what they love, for, you know, with what they do for a living, to some extent of enjoyment at least. So yeah, that's why I realized like this is my passion. And this is what I should have just kept doing, you know, ever since I was young. And yeah, so I'm glad that I got get back to it.
Well, all right, guys. Last word. We only have a minute or so left, but this is perhaps one of the most important ones that might sum up your life here in Korea so far. Barriers. Literally, barriers are structures that are built to kind of, stop someone from passage, right?
Yeah.
But figuratively, it's a tough one.
Definitely. The language barrier, the, being a foreigner in Korea barrier, which while I was on Dancing 9, I kind of felt like I broke that down a little bit, just for, a small amount of time, but that was really cool. But yeah, there's still the positive barriers, the negative barriers, but the negative ones sometimes outweigh. Just like you said before, my goal, opening up a dance studio, that is so difficult to do if you don't have the resources, if you don't have, what is it, $100,000 for the visa, like something, it's just a lot of barriers to break down, and it's really difficult to get to that goal.
But you keep breaking these down one by one.
Yeah, hopefully it's gonna happen soon. I can feel it.
We'll all keep our fingers crossed together.
Yeah, anybody out there, just cross your fingers with me, help me out.
All right, guys, we'll leave it out on that really good note today. Next week, we'll get to talk a little bit more about Cindy Langford's, not just career, but her personal life too, and what made her the really strong dancer she is inside and out. That's all the time we have for today. We'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you. Basis. Ballet is the basis, but jazz is, clean lines, sharp. It's, been around forever.